Welcome back to their video, and in today's video we have WrestleMania 41 Night 1 results. A very interesting show. We've seen a few championship changes, we've seen some big moments, and yeah, interesting card. What was your overall thoughts on the show though?
Yeah, overall, definitely a little underwhelming. I wouldn't say bad, definitely not a bad night one here. But, you know, in recent memory, we've seen a whole lot of night ones being better than night twos. And I'm just going to assume before we see night two, that's not going to be the case this year. I think night two will deliver way more than night one.
Yeah, this night one was kind of set up as a two-match card where there's two matches that probably people care about the most, and everything else kind of feels like a filler in a way. But let's kick things off where we start the night with Jey Uso defeating Gunther for the World Heavyweight Champion. What do you think about this one?
Yeah, so the match, honestly, it started off pretty good. I was kind of, I'm not going to say I was fully behind the match and I was like super enjoying it or anything. But, you know, they were kind of working, you know, the moves at the beginning. I was enjoying it a little bit. I was like, okay, Jey Uso's chest was getting way red from all the chops and just all the offense from Gunther and whatnot. We seen a big powerbomb from Jey Uso to Gunther, which was pretty cool. However, you know, we get to that finish and we see Gunther put Jey Uso in the guillotine, headlock, whatever you want to call it, and he doesn't count him out, or he doesn't tap him out. He gets the ropes or whatever it was. Then he gets up, you know, a little bit of offense, super kick, Uso splash. Then Jey Uso puts Gunther in the headlock, falls back. Jey Uso taps out Gunther at the starting match of WrestleMania. Yeah,
if I'm being quite honest, personally, this match was kind of the expectation I had. I knew it wasn't going to be some classic match. I wish it was a little bit better still. And yeah, the way Gunther lost, definitely I'm not a fan of him tapping out. I get that might be the story that was supposed to be told, but it doesn't. Having Jey Uso tap out Gunther after everything that's happened the past few weeks, to me, just doesn't seem right. It doesn't look right in my eyes. And yeah, obviously, Jey Uso's pop after the match was huge. Definitely wasn't as loud or as exciting as I've kind of felt. It did feel very anticlimactic when the match did end. So I think that kind of took away from it a little bit. But overall, a solid opener for the night.
Yeah, we seen Jimmy Uso come out to the ring and they do a little celebration. Thought there might be a turn because he kind of came out in the all black, the black hoodie, black pants, and all that. So I thought, is he going to do something? But nothing ended up happening. They just kind of celebrated. But yeah, I agree. Not the greatest match at all. I was expecting Gunther to kind of carry a little bit more of the weight. But honestly, he didn't really do anything too special here. I think he was kind of taken out of the match knowing maybe how he's going to lose. He's like, all right, let's just get this over with. I just want to get this match done. But yeah, not the greatest match to start off the night.
Then next up, we had the tag team champions on the line where the New Day defeated the War Raiders and are your new tag team champions and now a 13-time World Tag Team Champion team.
Yeah, honestly, the match itself was really good. However, it was mostly just the ending and how the New Day won that I didn't necessarily care about. We seen, I forget exactly how it happened, but they do a quick tag. Then it ends up with Kofi Kingston kind of holding down Ivar in like a bridge position, and then we see Xavier Woods go and do like a coup de grace type of move onto the shoulder of Ivar. And while he's pinning, we also see Kofi grab the leg while he's pinning him. And then they just run out of the rings, kind of celebrating down the aisle as they're running back. Expected a Big E something here, didn't get that. They kind of lingered the camera on them at the end. I expected it to happen again, didn't happen again. And yeah, I just don't see why the SmackDown tag titles weren't here. Way more interesting. The story was better. The match would have been better. It would have brightened the mood, I feel, of WrestleMania, and especially on this night. And yeah, just very questionable to put this tag match rather than the other. But yeah, definitely didn't care for this match much either.
Yeah, this match for me didn't do too much. Obviously, New Day becoming a 13-time tag team champion team is amazing. I'm so happy for them because they are one of the best tag teams in WWE's history. But the match itself for me wasn't all that great. There's a few moments I was very kind of into it, but the crowd itself also didn't help the match. It kind of felt like they didn't care. Maybe they were already burnt out after the Jey Uso one. But yeah, this match for me wasn't great. And then also the fact that we could have got the SmackDown Tag Team Champion instead of these just doesn't make sense for me. Like you said, the Big E not showing up is interesting as well. Maybe he shows up tomorrow or on Monday at the Raw after Mania. But yeah, very kind of unfortunate positioning that they didn't have a real build to the match either, so that kind of didn't help the fact that either. But next up, we did have a very interesting match where it was Jade Cargill versus Naomi, where Jade Cargill does pick up the win.
Yeah, this was a really good match, honestly. I thought I think I put it in the predictions that this, might be one of the matches that steal the show. It didn't do that. But it was a solid match. It was really good. I think Jade Cargill got to show off, everything that she's kind of taken in since joining WWE. And Naomi is a vet, and she's just good in general. She did everything really good. She has a brand new music as well. Kind of a little bit awkward. Doesn't necessarily fit the vibe of Naomi. Something I'm going to have to get used to. But yeah, really cool entrance from Jade as well, I'll mention. Really cool gear from the both of them. But the match was good. Like I said, nothing too crazy to kind of talk about here. But we seen Jade do this really cool like pop-up power. I don't know what it was, to be honest, but she kind of like flipped her into a power bomb and like a sit-down power bomb. Really nice. Naomi got a lot of nice offense in as well. But yeah, solid match.
Yeah, this match kind of lived up to the expectation that I had for it. I wasn't, for the match itself, I didn't expect it to be some crazy match where it was going to steal the show and kind of, be a 5-star classic. But it did still became like a very solid match, and a match that probably on this card is one of the best matches without a doubt. But yeah, I wish maybe Naomi kind of should have maybe got the win here. Obviously, her now turning heel. Obviously, this is Jade's first WrestleMania singles action, so it is nice to have, start her off with a big win. But I may have rather have Naomi win the match.
I like Jade winning myself. I just think, you want to make Jade a star as much as you can. Naomi's a star. You could turn her baby face anytime you want to, and she'll still get her original pop she did when she returned. So, yeah, but it's a really good match. And, yeah, best match of the night.
And then our next match, we had Jacob Fatu win the United States champion over LA Knight in a very fun match. And it was, for me, at this point, the new best match of the night.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. As I mentioned before, the Jade Cargill and Naomi was my favorite. Now this one immediately topped it right after. But it was a really good match. We've seen LA Knight get a lot more offense in than I originally thought he would. I originally thought it would be, a under 10-minute match. However, it ended up being right over 10 minutes. And we do see Jacob Fatu get a big win, a big pop for him as well. His entrance was really nice as well. He came out with the Samoan werewolf mask, whatever it was. He comes out with Solo. So it's kind of celebrating him getting his big WrestleMania moment. Thought that was really cool as well. But yeah, we see him take out LA Knight, and he's your new United States champion.
Yeah, I'm glad Jacob Fatu is the new champion. I feel like hopefully this kind of gives some new opportunities in the mid-card division. I would love to see an Andrade Jacob Fatu match, a Carmelo match, maybe one of these new signings, potentially an Alistair or Malachi rather, and then maybe a Rusev as well could be fun. But yeah, I'm glad Jacob gets the win here, and yeah, hopefully LA Knight can now go into maybe some bigger things. I think he's more than deserving. He's still very over the crowd, and yeah, it should be pretty fun to see what's next for both guys. And then next up, we had El Grande Americano defeat Rey Fenix. Now, originally it's supposed to be El Grande versus Rey Mysterio, but unfortunately on the SmackDown Go Home show, Rey Mysterio suffered an injury, so it was replaced by Rey Fenix earlier in the day. But like I mentioned, El Grande gets the win.
Yeah, didn't really care that El Grande won. I really wanted Rey Fenix or Rey Mysterio, whoever had the match, to get the big win here. But yeah, it was a solid match. Came in at right under 8 minutes, and I don't really have anything to complain about here. But yeah, I feel like we probably could have went without this match on the card.
Yeah, I feel like knowing that Rey Fenix was gonna be in this match now, or know the fact he was gonna lose rather, I wish they may want to put Dragon Lee in there, because I see somebody who kind of can suffer a loss, whereas Rey Fenix is kind of just debuting, and I feel like he should kind of start on a hot streak. Obviously, he lost to Andre the Giant Memorial, but that kind of doesn't mean too much when he was attacked. But I do get why they put him in because of the attack at the end. But yeah, I don't really care for this match too much. Nothing too crazy. I kind of wish this was the end of El Grande, but I guess they're going to kind of drag it out for a little bit longer, probably till SummerSlam, unfortunately. But yeah, decent match. But then on to the next match, we had Tiffany Stratton defeat Charlotte Flair to retain her Women's World Champion.
Yeah, this match really kind of woke the crowd up, woke me up as well. I was kind of falling back into a little slumber again. I was like, all right, this El Grande match wasn't great, but then this one woke me right back up. I was on my feet this entire match. Tiffany Stratton came in looking great. Same with Charlotte Flair. We both kind of told each other right when it started as they were doing their intros, like, okay, Charlotte's getting all this pyro and all that. Is this a reflection of the Royal Rumble where we seen her get all the pyro there and she got the big win? But it was not. Tiffany Stratton does pick up the big win. Nice visual at the end of her as she's holding the title after she won. Tooth missing, blood on her forehead coming out of her mouth and all that. Really cool little shot there. But great match. I really enjoyed this one. Once again, best match of the night at this point, but won't be for long coming to this main event.
Yeah, this match for me, although it was a good match, I will say that the chemistry between Tiffany and Charlotte is definitely not there, whether they really don't like each other or, they just, because there is some moments in this match where it does seem, I'm not going to say sloppy, but things get tangled up a little bit here and there, which is normal in all matches, obviously, but it could have been planned into the match that they do have a real-life beef, because it's all work, great job on them too, they made it very believable, but if this is, a real situation, then they also did a good job at least being professional enough to have a great match. But yeah, I'm glad Tiffany got the win here. I was definitely just kind of scared because of Charlotte winning the Rumble, coming out second in the match. But yeah, glad Tiffany got it. Hopefully we get some new matches from her and to extend this reign to hopefully start kicking things off, and she deserves a better reign than what she's had so far.
Yeah, one unfortunate spot of this match was like right at the end. It was getting really, really good, and Tiffany goes to do the Alabama Slam into the corner, which that was gonna wake me up. I was like, oh my god, is she gonna do this? And she goes to do it, but Charlotte kind of slips out of it a little bit. Not really sure what happened, but it didn't really land the smoothest. That's the only kind of big complaint that I have, is that little slip up there, because that would have been really nice if she would have landed that perfectly and that led to the win. I think that would have been awesome.
And then in our main event of WrestleMania 41, we have Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and CM Punk all going at it. And Seth Rollins comes out on top and defeats Roman Reigns and CM Punk in his first WrestleMania main event.
Yeah, this was an amazing match. Everything about this match was just very fun from beginning to end, from the entrances. We seen Seth Rollins do this thing where he comes out in this big black gown with a lantern and all that. The music, the lights cut out, comes back on, then he's in all white. He does his regular entrance to the ring. Roman, kind of just your usual entrance. He just walks down to the ring with his music, sporting a new colored glove, a new white glove, and new white shoes. And then CM Punk gets the big entrance at the end. He gets In Living Color performing right before a video package plays of him. A lot of his ECW days, OVW days, stuff of that nature. Getting into the match, we see them just instantly start brawling. They're brawling on the outside with Seth and CM Punk. They fight all the way around the entire crowd, all the way back into the ring. We see a lot of Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman kind of staring at each other. Roman Reigns kind of making slick comments to him on the side whenever he can. But yeah, from here on, the match pace really picks up, and I'll let you kind of talk into how the match finishes up. But from here on, I feel like this is really where it picks up once we kind of start getting the Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns back and forth.
So we see a lot of sequences where all three men are hitting finishers, whether it's somebody else's finisher or their finisher. But at one point, all three men are down, and then Roman and CM Punk are on one side of the ring with the same side that just so happened Paul Heyman's at. And then he goes over to the ring bell area and grabs a steel chair, and he looks at both of his former and current client, Roman Reigns and CM Punk, and kind of looks between them. He passes the chair to CM Punk because at the end of the day, this is the favor he asked for. And yeah, CM Punk gets the chair, but as he's kind of getting up, Paul Heyman gets in the ring to kind of help him up a little bit, and then as Paul Heyman is directing CM Punk to hit Roman Reigns with the steel chair, he gets down on a knee and low blows CM Punk, turning on him, grabs the chair and hands it to Roman Reigns so he can hit CM Punk, and he goes after CM Punk with the chair, pretty much writing him off for the rest of the match. And yeah, then Roman, Paul Heyman and Roman have their little moment, and they kind of turn their focus on to Seth Rollins now, and Seth Rollins slowly getting up. Roman Reigns grabs the chair, and as he's about to do another shield chair shot, Paul Heyman turns on Roman Reigns as well, and now Seth Rollins is the last man standing and is now the newest, at least assuming what's going to happen, is the newest Paul Heyman guy, and he gets the chair, hits Roman Reigns, hits a curb stomp, and then gets the win on Roman Reigns, and is the winner of the WrestleMania 41 main event.
Yeah, this was just an awesome match. I loved everything about the ending here. I knew something was up when Paul Heyman entered the ring. I was like, all right, that's not like Paul Heyman. He doesn't enter rings for no reason. But so that should have been a telltale sign of what was gonna come forward after that, of course. But it didn't do it for me. I don't know what I thought was gonna happen at that point, to be honest. But it was really cool. Another cool spot to point out during this match, as well as we see CM Punk on the outside of the ring. He got beaten down from whatever it was by Seth Rollins, and we see Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns in the ring, and Seth Rollins telling him, hey, we gotta take CM Punk out. Whatever we have in between us, it doesn't matter right now. The most important thing is to take out CM Punk. He's the cancer of the company, yada yada, all that Seth Rollins spiel. They go to the outside. Roman Reigns kind of torn. Does he help Seth Rollins? Does he do the Shield powerbomb on the table like Seth Rollins is wanting? He does not. He punches Seth Rollins. He throws CM Punk through the announce table on his own. Throws Seth through the other announce table on his own. But that was a really cool moment there as well. Also, at the beginning, I'll mention is Roman, as they're fighting on the outside, Roman does a really crazy dive where he just dives over the guardrail, running into Seth Rollins and CM Punk, knocking him into the fans and security and everything. Really awesome dive from Roman there. But yeah, awesome match. Yeah, I loved everything about it. Yeah, I really enjoyed this one.
Yeah, this was obviously on paper always going to be the best match. You know, a Roman match is going to be a little bit slow paced, but I think CM Punk, with just his style of wrestling, you know, you aren't going to have too many lull moments and kind of, you know, just downed out moments. But yeah, they kind of brought a good just personality to this match, and just a good way to keep things always moving and keeping people's eyes on the match, entertained the entire time. And yeah, Seth Rollins winning, I think it's great. I think this is probably the best option you could have went with. He kind of needed a win over CM Punk, and Roman Reigns kind of doesn't need a win right now. We don't know what is his next goal in wrestling right now. So Seth Rollins, who's going to be around, you know that, now aligning himself with Paul Heyman, it looks like, should be really interesting to see what he has coming up next.
Yeah, definitely going to be really interesting to see how this story unfolds post-Mania and where Paul Heyman's it really lies, I guess, is where he's going to really go to, and how will Punk and Roman feel about it. Obviously not great, but, you know, I want to see what they say about it. But yeah, definitely a great way to end out WrestleMania Night 1 here. As a whole, I would say, you know, as a whole of Night 1, I didn't really, I'm not gonna say, you know, it was an awful night or none of that. Definitely was not, but definitely expect Night 2 to kind of carry this WrestleMania at this point.
Yeah, Night 2 is gonna need some big performances, I think, to really kind of make this WrestleMania a very good one. There was a few solid matches on Night 1. However, I feel like the main event is kind of the carry job of this. The Tiffany and Charlotte match was great, but it still didn't feel like a huge Mania match. I feel like it still could have been a little bit better. And also, I think we didn't mention in the Tiffany match, she came out with a cool entrance. She had like 3 different screens, all different like versions of her, and then in the middle it's her with the belt. It was a really cool visual, kind of like a Barbie doll style entrance. But yeah, what was your favorite match on the night though?
Yeah, definitely going to be that main event. I loved everything about that match. I feel like it was perfect for the most part.
Yeah, and then who had the best entrance of the night though?
Best entrance,
See Tiffany come out with the Barbie, Charlotte, and the Rolls Royce. LA Knight came out in Maserati, I do believe.
Honestly, I'm gonna say Jacob Fatu. I thought his was really cool, or if not him, maybe Jade.
Yeah, but yeah, that would do it for our WrestleMania 41 results. Let us know what you guys think about the show. What was your favorite match of the night? What was your favorite entrance? But yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you made it this far, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.